So let's take a look at a full facial rejuvenation case study. Now, this is probably one of the more common type of procedures that we do. Full facial rejuvenation basically indicates the need to restore the shape and the integrity of all of the anatomy of the face at the same time. And why that's important, just to give you a little bit of a background, is that the face as we age, usually after the age of 50, has a number of different areas that are aging simultaneously. You start to see a change in the elongation of the face. That's where you start to see jowling, neck banding, ptosis and drop of the midface, hooding of the lateral brow. All that's happening because the fascia is starting to elongate with age. Then what you start to see is that there's excess skin forming around the eyes. You start to see heaviness on the upper eyelids, puffiness or excess skin on the lower eyelids. You start to see the upper lip starts to get long with age. There's a flattening of that region. Then there's a volume loss that affects that entire area at the same time. You start to see the face starts to become deflated with age. So why it's important to assess all of this together is because when you think about young people, none of these features exist. When you think about older people, all of their features exist. But in both cases, they're natural looking. Either you're young, natural, or old natural. What doesn't look right is when you have old next to new. Let's say you have a beautiful jawline and youthful neck, and then you have aged-looking eyes. That doesn't look right, and that immediately signals that somebody has had some type of work done. And it doesn't mean that it has to be necessarily bad work. It just means that there's been work done because the face doesn't look like a normal face anymore. So one of my sort of philosophies and I would say modus operandi, the whole practice that I've had the last 15, 20 years is always doing a comprehensive facial rejuvenation when indicated to encourage a very natural looking outcome and a very beautiful harmony between the different subsets. So here we're taking an example of a 65-year-old patient who has all those changes happening at the same time. And when you look at her in her before photo, you can see there's excess skin around her eyes. There's a hollowing that is around her temples and her cheeks and her lower face. You see that the jawline and the neck have become elongated, and the face is no longer that youthful shape where you have a V-line jawline and a heart-shaped overall face with a smooth neck. Instead, you see there's a squaring of the jawline and there's a heaviness to the lower face that's very typical of an aged patient. And really interesting is you see that the upper lip has gotten longer as well. So here I performed an upper blepharoplasty, I performed a lower blepharoplasty, I performed a vertical restore, which is a technique that I developed in order to reestablish the youthful position of the lateral brow, the midface, the jawline, and the neck all in one procedure. As well as a lip lift in this patient to bring all of that into harmony and balance. Now, when you look at her after photo, she looks easily 20 plus years younger, but really importantly, she looks totally natural and unoperated. She looks like herself without any of those aging changes present. And when you see her, there's a natural glow and confidence and beauty that is present. And when you look at the three-quarter view, all of these changes are clearly present as well, and you can see that youthful shape of the jawline, the great youthful neck, and ultimately a very natural looking outcome. And this patient is very, very happy, as I am as well. And this photo is taken approximately 6 months after her procedure was performed. All right, so that is a beautiful analysis and case review of a patient undergoing full facial rejuvenation. If you have any questions at all, make sure you comment below. But as always, please follow us on Instagram as well as subscribe to this YouTube channel. We produce videos like this all the time, so if this content is interesting to you, you won't want to miss it. As well as make sure you forward this along to friends and family who would also find it interesting and educational. Thanks so much.